Hey, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Quickview where I'm looking at Omensight. Omensight is developed by Spearhead Games. You might know them from stories The Path of Destinies and Tiny Brains. And this is their new creation, just released today. If this video is coming out on time, which it probably won't be, but what have you. Omensight is a action murder mystery game, specifically a top-down character action game with some light RPG elements and a very, very interesting plotline. But without further ado, let's just get into it so we can see what is actually going on here. It's wearing its influences on its sleeve. It has a bit of Bastion, a bit of Majora's Mask in it. It has a tinge of Fury and just like anything you could find, at least remotely similar to the art style that you see here. And the art style is actually amazing and one of the most beautiful, aesthetically pleasing games I've seen in a while. So what's going on? So you're the Harbinger, and your main purpose in life is to figure out why the hell the apocalypse happened. Yeah. So the world is destroyed. Literally, Nidhogg came out of the ground and is pretty much destroying the world. It has a bunch of like Norse mythology, or at least the Tree of Life and the, as you can see here, and the idea of Nidhogg, the destroyer of worlds, coming to, create the apocalypse. And we're here to stop it. How do we do that? We have no idea. We got no memories. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're a silent protagonist. And the cool thing about this game is your entire game is to repeat levels. So far I've unlocked 3, which from the looks of things start every time from the beginning, but because of things you found out in previous levels, speaking to previous people, or unlocking special keys and seal unlocking abilities, you can go and branch out into different locations. And after every level, you discover something new and something interesting. If you go over here to the open investigation orb, you can see pretty much what we've discovered is the reason of the apocalypse, which is jack shit. The basic premise is that a godless priestess by the name of Vera has died, and she's kind of like the Avatar from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where she just kind of reincarnates, but this time she didn't, and then the Fire Nation attacked. It is a Empire versus Rebel story wrapped into a murder mystery of Norse mythological proportions. It's quite weird and it's extremely exciting. And here's just a bunch of clues that you can find. I only have been playing this game for about an hour, and this is just from completing one level. It does give you some semblance of what is going on, but the mystery is still there. It's very exciting, and it's great. It is probably apart from the combat, which we'll get to very momentarily, because I'm excited about the combat, the story itself is very, very much engaging, and I cannot wait to see what happens. Anywho, after you beat every level, what you can do is you can, as most character action games go, use your experience to unlock different abilities, or in this case, you just gain simple levels in a linear progression system and unlock different tools to do combat with. In this case, we got Delay of Fate. Cast a sphere that greatly slows down time, effective everyone but you, lasts a few seconds as a cooldown. So it's basically a one-off ability that just will help us during fights. I can show you the combat now, but we'll get to that as well. And you can also go over here and give Amber, which is pretty much gold, and you can just buy better abilities, more HP, reduce cooldown from the new ability we just got, have allies have slower cooldowns for their superpowered abilities, which is great and all, but we gotta go for perfect dodges. I mean, I'm a Bayonetta kid, and I'm also a Revengeance kid, so I need my perfect dodges, which you'll probably see none of in this little quick view. And yeah, there's a bunch of shit you can get, and from the looks of things, it's not too difficult to get enough of this artifact power to actually empower them. Of course, yeah, you won't get max health immediately, but for the most part, the shit that looks extremely important, like perfect dodges, pretty much gonna get right away. I'm not sure how deep the actual customization is yet. Once again, I'm only an hour in, but it should be interesting enough, because at its core, the combat itself is fun enough. So I did this level before and learned a bit about the story. Let's do the other first level, because you start the game by exiting 2 levels. You do a quick prologue, and then you have the choice of actually selecting something. Yeah, Voden is basically Nidhogg. He erupts from the ground and tries to fuck the world. And yeah, that's from the core of things, at its core, the basis of this game is basically you start at the daytime, you learn something new, the day progresses, you go through 3 different locations, and then the apocalypse happens and you reset time and try to find out something else.
Wait for it to be over. Yeah, everything will be tickety-boo.
At least bring a squad along.
Who, eh? Ratika's mob? Everyone's up their arse with the big fight. Besides, they'll just get in the way. Nah, I'll kill the Emperor on my own.
You mean die trying? You
Should I?
pay your tab before.
Should I drink this? Yeah, let's drink it.
That seat's taken, mate.
Ludimir, it's the Harbinger.
Like, when I was playing the other first level, there was also a similar situation where I can just sit there and wait for a conversation to be over, or I could reveal myself and just kind of progress the plot along. I wonder, like, how much I can actually influence by, you know, not revealing myself, or not taking a drink, or just, you know, stalking him like a creepy fan. Or groupie.
Before Rogentia's rubber, I suppose. What's that look for? I didn't cause this mess. Thank Hendrik for that. Well, as much fun as this chat has been, I'm off. Big day.
And he just storms off. Okay, so yeah, the voice acting is
Harbinger. Here. This will be interesting.
pretty damn good, I must say. This game just feels extremely polished, both aesthetically and both gameplay-wise, which you will see very, very shortly, I'm sure of it. Because that's by far the best part of this game. It's the actual combat. It is extremely simplistic. You have your lights, you have your heavies, you can do a couple of abilities like we saw before, the slow time bubble. You can also set your ally to use their abilities. And it is extremely satisfying, and you will see in just 2 seconds. There's also dodging. And it's very snappy, and it has really good impact. I'll try to do a perfect dodge now. And it slows down anytime you kill anyone, or you do a full combo and almost kill them, or anything of the sort. It is extremely visceral, even though it is so quick and so simple. Like, during the first level I did, there was a situation where I needed to stop some enemies from releasing other prisoner enemies. I actually just stood there and let them go because I wanted more people to fight. It is extremely fun and satisfying to just perfect dodge, combo, perfect dodge, and just go. That's kind of why I like character action games. And there's also another thing which I really like, and some of you might not actually enjoy that much, is there's no real ranking system per level. There's, like, as you probably saw from the comment before, there's no, like, S ranks or combos or whatever. You can get a stylish fighter award at the end of the level, which gives you a bit more experience. I have no idea how to actually get that, but for the most part, it will not invade your dreams and desires by adding like rankings or trophies at the end of combat. For me, that's a good thing because I get stuck on them way too much. And that was a bad dodge. I just get way too invested in doing perfect combos. And because of it, I kind of started hating the game because I can't do perfects right out of the bat, and I would just spend like hours on end just doing level 1 trying to perfect it just because the game is telling me that I suck. Not doing a great job doing the fluid combos to just show you how visceral the gameplay is, but believe me, it is a very, very fun game. It's quite basic in its combat system, at least so far. Once again, 1 hour in. I could be super wrong, and I probably am. Oops. Can we use this guy to... Okay, no. Oh, but we can do this! Okay, so apparently there's stage hazards as well. Did not have those in the last level. So that's also a neat little thing. So yeah, very simple game, very great premise, very fun, simple combat system. You don't have to be a person that plays Bayonetta on ultra hard whatever mode and go perfect to actually play this. No, you can have a very passing interest and still have a blast with this just because, once again, and I'm repeating myself several times now, it's a very simple combat system that feels very good. Kinda like how Arc System Works makes fighting games where you can do the basic combos by just pressing square and it will feel really good and really fun to do. And it only gets old after a long, long time, and by that point you already want to advance to more insane shit. And I can imagine this game would allow some of that as well. Eventually in the late game, maybe in a new game plus or what have you. I'm also playing this on medium. There's 5 that was bad. I'm playing on this on medium, and there's 5 difficulty levels, and during the first level I did have some issues with getting extremely low even on medium difficulty. So I can imagine on ultra despair mode it would be a bit more hectic. Like, I love dodging and I love counters in video games, so needing to practice perfect dodging for me is the best. And I like it, and I really like it when it's visceral and very satisfying and quick and easy. It's always very annoying to have a combat system where you can't dodge the moment you react and you just kind of have to plan ahead in a sense. Which for some is okay, but I kind of hate it because I just want to, you know, do my anime style instant 0-second dodges whenever I feel like it. And that this game lets me do that, and it makes me very, very happy. So yeah, how much does it cost? At the current time, it is 16 euros, or your regional equivalent. And I can't speak for the length. Could be a bit of a shorter game, but with... Okay, I was slightly stuck. It could be a bit of a shorter game. Let's just move on. It could be a bit of a shorter game, but I can definitely see myself doing multiple playthroughs of this, or at least if there's a New Game Plus mode, to play New Game Plus mode, just to do the combat. I am pretty sure at some point this game will just become my, hey, I got 30 minutes to kill, let's do a level and do some combat because it's just that fun. This kind of simple, brainless coffee break kind of level progression. But that might not be necessarily true because the levels do last a little bit. But the nice thing about the levels is that you do move from place to place frequently enough. It's not like you're spending your entire level in one place fighting in the same quarters over and over. Just when you feel like the game, like the level has reached its maximum length that you want to actually deal with, it moves on to something a bit different. It still carries the same theme of the level. Like the last level was basically go to prison, then go on a war machine, and then go fight in a courtyard of a city. And it was great. So it doesn't overstay its welcome, and it's very refreshing to see that. A lot of games kind of get very samey by just go forward, fight, go forward, fight, and just rinse and repeat until the level's complete. Maybe watch a cutscene, something like that. So yeah, that was one of those seals that I got from the other level I did before. And if I hadn't, I would have to go through the other progression, which means I would have gotten different clues and would have experienced a different side of the story first. But now that I know some things, I can move it in a different way. And I also wonder just how much will the story actually get locked away from me just because I did it in a different order. If that's true, then I'm definitely doing multiple playthroughs of this game, because this game is great! If you haven't felt my enthusiasm from my voice, it's there. This game is great. I absolutely adore it in every single way. Might not be the biggest fan of the anthropomorphic animals, but honestly, I don't give a fuck because the gameplay is just great and the story's fantastic. What else should I say? I'm not sure why I'm breaking even this box, as I will be starting a new playthrough of this on my own time, because to be completely honest, I was not paying attention to the story ever since I started recording, because I'm just too busy talking and just having a blast killing everybody. So this is obviously another seal that I might get from a different timeline. So for now, nothing you can do, but yeah, it will lead to somewhere else, and I'm guessing they can splinter quite a bit, because on the first level I did before, I'm pretty sure I saw just on the main base path without any unlocks 3 different doors going to 3 different places. So I'm wondering just how much those would split, because this one is already splitting into another, and you get the gist. Very exciting game. I hope it doesn't fall apart. I hope it's long enough to, you know, actually put some intrigue into this murder mystery, because that's kind of what you want. You want to give a bunch of threads that you can kind of try to think out yourself, but you also don't want it to last too long. You get too confusing, like Lost did. If you remember that little indie show from a couple of years back, ouch. You kind of want to drip feed your consumer enough so they feel invested, but not too much that they get just blindly confused, which, I mean, hasn't stopped other shows from being successful in that aspect, but it's not something I like all that much personally. You gotta be really quick with these dodges, especially for this guy. Holy crap. I am the worst there has ever been, so I'll just shoot him in the face. That's one of the abilities you get. I should have probably talked about this a bit earlier, I think. Yeah, so as you level up, you get some extra abilities, as you saw the time bubble as well. You also have a shooting ability, which you get by filling the little orbs in the top left. And you do that by doing combos, not getting hit, and dodging as best as you can. And once you get an orb, you can use one of those, and it does a decent amount of damage. It strikes, and it's very easy to aim as well, because it kind of snaps on to your enemies, just like regular combat does. So yeah, no controller foibles at all. In fact, I highly recommend playing this with a controller if you haven't kind of assumed that already. It is very much a controller game, especially with these kind of precision dodges and such. Yeah. That's obviously a red herring. That was basically the princess and the emperor of the empire, and everyone pretty much says he's evil and is a bastard, and it's kind of obvious that he might have killed her. It's too obvious for the murder mystery to actually have him as the main villain, so there's gonna be some kind of plot twist. I don't know, maybe the witch that just talked to us is actually Satan. You never know, you know. Yeah, like, considering I just actually saw that scene, I have no idea what that actually meant, because I don't know the other circumstances of that situation happening. I know she went to this temple and she met Emperor Indrik, but I don't know what context, and I don't got any clues. And I'm getting more and more pieces of information in regards to this, and eventually the full story will reveal itself, and hopefully it will be grandiose and amazing. But for now, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. And that's basically the gameplay loop. Do a level, you go to a different path, you do great combat, you get a tidbit of story, you get XP, you level up, rinse and repeat, and eventually, I'm guessing you beat the game. That level was surprisingly very short, maybe because I went on a side path, or maybe that level was just very short, because that was about a third of the level that I played before. Didn't even have a boss battle, if you count that big dude to be a boss.
Your search for the truth has created a bond between you and the priestess. You saw a key moment before her death. An omen that foretells Vodun's return. The vision confirms our fears. The godless priestess has suffered at the hands of the Emperor. But the question remains, where is her soul? Harbinger.
And then the Avatar just disappeared, and then the Fire Nation attacked.
Now you will read. When you choose your
Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil you guys anymore on this. I think you got the gist of why this game is great. Because it is a great, great game, and I'm enjoying this immensely. So yeah, if you liked it, definitely check it out. I know I will. And if you liked the video, press the little like button over there. You know the one. And if you want to see more content, feel free to subscribe. And of course, guys, I'll see you next time.